See, yesterday we have done some settings in the asset accounting. Now, creation of asset classes. Path is same as above, or transaction code OA. SPRO, financial accounting, asset accounting, organization structures, asset classes, define asset classes. Click on new entries. So here we are going to create 6 asset classes: land, buildings, plant and machinery, furniture, vehicles, and assets under construction. So for each asset class, we have to give one name. So I follow one logic here. I take the company code, right? Then I take the first letter from the name of the asset class. So our company code is SSKH, right? L for land. Like that, I give the name, but you can give any name. It can contain up to 9 characters. So asset class is equal to SSKHL, land. Asset class is equal to land, SSKHL, land. Account determination, SSKH 1000. So how the system understands that it is the land class? For that, we use the account determination key. Yesterday, we have defined the account determination key SSKH 1000 land, right? So that account determinant is assigned in the land class. Then screen load is equal to SH10. Yesterday, we defined one screen load tool, SH10. So SH10 contains some fields. For every field, there is required entry, optional entry, suppressed entry, and so on. Later on, in the screen load tool SH10, right, you select some fields as required entry, some fields as optional entry, and so on. As a result, when you create the master record for the land under the land class, the fields will be populated accordingly. No, it's not SK10. SK10, no? Okay. SK10. Number range 01. So yesterday again, for the 01 number range number, we have linked 1 to 1 lakh. Then the number range 01 is assigned in the land class. So when you create the master record for the land under the land class, the system will take number 1, second land number 2, third land number 3, and so on. Select include asset. Right down there. Select include asset. By selecting this checkbox, the system will consider all the assets of this class, into reporting when we are generating inventory reports, when we are generating the inventory reports relating to fixed assets. Suppose if you are generating the list of assets report, right? Then the system will consider the assets of this asset class into reporting. Then select no AUC. No AUC means assets under construction, right? So write down there again. By selecting this radio button, The system specifies that assets under construction in this asset class are managed without the option of line item settlement to the receiver assets or cost centers. That is, there will not be any assets under construction under this asset class. Means, can you construct the land? No. So there is no assets under construction in this asset class. Click on Save. Then let us create one more asset class, buildings. Click on Next Entry button. Asset class is equal to SSKH B. B for buildings I am using. Buildings. Account determination SSKH 1100. Screen load rule SK11. Number range 02. Select include asset. Select no AUC. Here we can construct the building, right? But the master record for the building and the construction is created under another asset class, assets under construction class. Why? Because the assets under construction are to be separately displayed in the balance sheet. So the assets under construction cannot be included in the buildings class. That's why for every asset class, we select no AUC, except for building, except for assets under construction. Click on Save. Now let us create plant and machinery class. Click on Next Entry button. So you have to go on clicking on Next Entry button till you get this field vacant. Asset class is equal to SSKHP, plant and machinery. Plant and machinery. Account determination is equal to SSKH 2000. Screen load tool SK20. Number range 03. Select include asset. Select no AUC. Click on Save. Now let us create another asset class, furniture. Click on Next Entry button. Asset class is equal to SSKHF. Furniture. Account determination SSKH 3000. Screen load rule SK30. Number range 04. Select include asset. Select no AUC. Click on Save. Now click on Next Entry button. Asset class is equal to SSKH V, V for vehicles. Vehicles. Account determination SSKH 3100. Account determination SSKH 3100, screen load rule SK31, number range 05, select no AUC, click on save. Then let us create assets under construction. Click on next entry button. Asset class is equal to SSKH AUC. Asset class is equal to SSKH AUC. Description, assets under construction. Description, assets under construction. Account determination, SSKH 4000. Screen load rule, SK40. Number range 06. And do not select include asset. Suppose if you don't want to take the assets and construction into inventory, you don't select it. But there is no issue even if you select it. That means if you want to take the assets and construction into inventory reports, you can select. Otherwise, not necessary. So selecting or deselecting is not mandatory here. Then select AUC. Yeah, see, Abhishek is asking me to explain what is assets under construction. You have the 40 buildings as on today, right? So this year you have started constructing building number 41. Building number 41. So as on the balance sheet date, the building construction is not completed. So you cannot calculate depreciation. Why? We calculate depreciation only when the asset starts losing its value. So when you are not using the asset, where is the question of losing the value? That's why, right? We are not allowed to legally also to calculate depreciation on the assets under construction. So the assets under construction means they are in the halfway of the construction. Similarly, right? You have purchased on, you are erecting on plant and machinery within your company. And as on the balance sheet date, the erection is not completed. That is again called assets under construction. So when you are building the assets within your company, when you're building the fixed assets within your company, they are called assets under construction till that is completed. Clear, Abhishek?
Yes, sir, it's clear now. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Now, number range 06, select line item settlement. Select line item settlement. So what is the line item settlement? Say, for example, we have 40 buildings already, right? So this year we have started constructing 41st building. So you maintain one master record, building number 41 under construction. Building number 41 under construction. Right? So building number 41 under construction master record. You create one master record like building number 1 under construction, building number 41 under construction. Master record is nothing but account, right? So on this building number 41, you have incurred these expenses. Sorry. Why it is coming like this? See, with this building number 41, we have incurred these expenses. like materials 15 lakhs, then labor 10 lakhs, then you have incurred some other expenses 5 lakhs. Now the building number 41 has been completed. So the total cost of the building is 30 lakhs. Now you have used you have started using this building number 41, right? So once the construction is completed, right, and you have started using that building number 41, now we have to start calculating depreciation on this building number 41. For this purpose, this building number 41 under construction is to be transferred to building number 41 by one accounting entry. Like what? Can anybody tell me what is the accounting entry in this case? Can anybody tell me what is the accounting entry here? See, building number 41, account debtor 30 lakhs to building number 41 under construction. As simple as that. Now, the balance in the building number 41 under construction becomes 0. So, we are transferring the cost of building number 41 under construction, or we are transferring the cost of asset under construction to the completed asset class through an accounting entry. So in this accounting entry, these are called line items, right? That's why this is called line item settlement, right? Write down there itself. Select line item settlement, right? Write down. By selecting the line item settlement radio button, by selecting the line item settlement radio button, by selecting the line item settlement radio button, the system specifies that the assets under construction, in this asset class, are managed with the option for final line item settlement, to the receiving assets, and you please write down this. Please write down this total as slide. I hope it's over for everybody. I can continue. When the line item settlement radio button is selected, no, not like that. Okay, right now. By selecting the line item settlement radio button, the we can transfer the cost of one asset. We can transfer the cost of one asset under construction to multiple assets. That means what? Say, for example, this building number 41 is a guest house, right? So we have constructed in this guest house 2 floors, ground floor and first floor, right? So the ground floor is used as a guest house by the administration people, and the first floor is used as a guest house by the factory maintenance people. For example, in that case, on some ad hoc basis, right? The cost of ground floor is transferred to administration buildings class. Then the cost of the first floor will be transferred to factory buildings class. That is quite possible when you select line item settlement. So we have created 6 asset classes now. Now, creation of GL accounts. Here, in the asset class, in the asset accounting, we have to create some number of GL accounts. Yes, it is the capitalization cost. It is the capitalization of capital expenditure. Yes, Abhishek. Now, we have to create some number of GL accounts. So how many number of GL accounts you have to create? There isn't any predefined principle. But how do we decide how many number of GL accounts we create, right? See, this is the balance sheet. So this is liability side. Then assets. Okay. So you have the land and buildings, plant and machinery, vehicles, furniture, assets and construction, etc., etc. So how do we display these assets in the balance sheet on asset side? For example, like this. Land, some amount. Then buildings, some amount. Then plant and machinery, some amount. Then furniture, some amount. Then vehicles, some amount. Then assets under construction. Some amount. So what do you mean by some amount here? See, land some amount means what? You have 10 lands, right? So we create the master records for all the 10 lands under the land class. Then in the balance sheet, we display the total amount of, we display the total value of all individual 10 lands as some amount, 100 crores or 150 crores like that. Similarly, we have the 20 buildings. We will display the total value of all the 20 buildings against the heading buildings. Then we have 30 plant and machineries. So we display the total value of all the 30 plant and machineries, right, as one heading. We display the total value of all the 30 plant and machineries under one heading, plant and machinery. You have 100 vehicles, 4-wheelers, 2-wheelers, right, 3-wheelers, heavy vehicles, all. You have 100 vehicles. So you will display the total value of 100 vehicles against the heading vehicles, and so on, right? In order to display the total value, what is the function we use in SAP? Can anybody tell me? You want to display total advances paid to all the vendors. What you are doing?
Sir, for total, we use the control ledger. I mean, the main ledger.
Which one?
Control ledger. I mean, the reconciliation ledger.
You should not say reconciliation ledger. It's a reconciliation account.
Account. Yeah.
So there is no concept like reconciliation ledger in SAP. Okay. So you have to use the reconciliation account. In order to display total value of sundry creditors, we have created reconciliation account. In order to display the total amount of advances paid to all the vendors together, we use the reconciliation account. Sundry debtors, sundry creditors, advances from customers, advances to vendors. Like that, we are, in order to display the total value of the individual assets, we create a reconciliation account for each asset class. Create a reconciliation account. For each asset class. Suppose if you have 50 asset classes, 50 reconciliation accounts you have to create. It's a rule, you can take it granted, right? Write down. You can write down this again. Create a reconciliation account for each asset class. Over. If anybody is still writing, let me know. I will keep it open. So we have to create 6 GL accounts, right? So we have an account group, fixed assets, right? Fixed assets. So all these asset accounts are to be created under the fixed assets account group, and the defined number range is 2 lakhs to 2 lakh 99. So I am going to start taking 2 lakhs. Transaction code FS00 as usual. GL account is equal to 2 lakhs. GL account is equal to 2 lakhs. Company code SSKH. Go to menu GL account create. Account group is fixed assets. Account group is fixed assets. select balanced account. Short text is equal to land account, sorry. Short text is equal to land account. GL account long text is also land account. Go to control data tab. Account currency INR. And for the reconciliation accounts, we should not select only balances in local currency. Reconciliation account for account type assets. Select line item display. Sort key 018. 018 means asset number. Means suppose you have 10 lands, right? Now, what is the acquisition cost of each 10 lands? What is the acquisition cost of each of the 10 lands? For that purpose, right, if you want to know the acquisition cost of each land, right, the line items are to be displayed as per the asset number 018. Then go to create bank interest tab, field status group G067. Click on save. So let us create buildings account. GL account is 2,05,000. You can use 2,01,000 also, but just like that, I'm keeping a gap of 5 numbers for each asset class. Am I going fast? Anybody is feeling that am I going fast?
No, sir, you are okay.
No, sir.
Okay, fine. GL account is 2,05,000. Company code SSKH. Here, the fields to be maintained for the buildings account are very similar with the land account, right? Except name of the GL account, right? That means short text and long text. In that case, we can use with the template. Click on with the template. GL account is 2 lakhs. Company code SSKH. Click on enter. Short text and long text is equal to buildings account. Click on save. Let us create plant and machinery class. GL account is equal to 2,10,000. I'm sorry, plant and machinery GL account, not class. GL account is equal to 2,10,000. Company code SSKH. Click on with the template. GL account is 2 lakhs. Company code SSKH. Click on enter. Short text and long text is equal to plant and machinery account. Click on save. Now let us create furniture account. GL account is equal to 2,15,000. Company code SSKH. Click on with the template. GL account is equal to 2 lakhs. Company code SSKH. Click on enter. Short text and long text is equal to furniture account. Click on save. Then let us create vehicles account. GL account is equal to 2,20,000. Company code SSKH. Click on with the template. GL account is 2 lakhs. company code SSKH. Click on enter. Short text and long text is equal to vehicles account. Click on save. Now let us create capital work in progress. Assets under construction is also called capital work in progress from the accounting terminology. GL account is 2,25,000. Company code SSKH. Click on with the template. GL account is 2 lakhs. Company code SSKH. Click on enter. Short text and long text is equal to capital work in progress. Click on save. So we have created 6 GL accounts for 6 asset classes. Okay. Then we have to create accumulated depreciation. Accumulated depreciation on buildings. Why? Here, out of the 6 asset class, we don't calculate depreciation on land. Then we don't calculate depreciation on assets under construction. And we do calculate depreciation on buildings, plant and machinery, furniture and vehicles. So you have 10 buildings. Then on all the 10 buildings, we calculate depreciation. Then the depreciation on all the 10 buildings is to be displayed on the liability side under the heading accumulated depreciation on buildings. Some amount. You have 20 plant and machineries. We calculate the depreciation on all the 20 plant and machineries. Then we display this like accumulated depreciation on plant and machinery. On all 20 plant and machineries, some amount. You have 50 types of furniture. So accumulated depreciation on furniture, some amount. Then you calculate depreciation on 100 vehicles. So accumulated depreciation on vehicles. That means here also we display the total value of depreciation calculated on all the individual assets, right, of the asset classes. That means these accumulated depreciation accounts also are to be created as a reconciliation account. Create accumulated depreciation account. For each asset class on create accumulated depreciation account as a reconciliation account. For each asset class on which the depreciation is calculated. So out of the 6 asset classes in our example, we calculate depreciation on 4 asset classes. So we have to create these 4 GL accounts, reconciliation accounts. Again, write down. Please write down. I'll be back in 1 minute. Yes, I am back. Now we have an account group, accumulated depreciation, right? And all these accounts are to be created under the accumulated depreciation account group. So GL defined number range is 1,200,000 to 1,299,000. So GL account is equal to 1,200,000. Company code SSKH. Click on with template. GL account is equal to 2 lakhs. Company code is equal to SSKH. Click on enter. See, you have to change the account group. The account group is accumulated depreciation. The account group is accumulated depreciation. Short text is equal to accumulated depreciation on buildings account. Long text is also accumulated depreciation on buildings account. Look at the scheme. Here also, this is also a reconciliation account for account type assets and sort key 018. Means here you have the 20 buildings. On each of the 20 buildings, I want to know what is the accumulated depreciation on every building. So the line items are to be displayed according to asset number. Then field status group G067. Click on save. Let us create accumulated depreciation on plant and machinery. GL account is 1,205,000. Company code SSKH. Click on with template. Here, if you take the 2 lakhs GL account as template, from now onwards, you have to change the account group, right? But already we have created 1,200,000 accumulated depreciation on buildings. So if you take 1,200,000 as template, it is not necessary to change the account group. That's why from now onwards, I'm taking 1,200,000 as template. GL account is equal to 1,200,000. Company code SSKH. Click on enter. Short text and long text is equal to accumulated depreciation on plant and machinery account. Click on save. Let us create accumulated depreciation on furniture. GL account is 1,210,000. Company code SSKH. Click on with the template. GL account is 1,200,000. Company code SSKH. Click on enter. Short text and long text is equal accumulated depreciation on furniture. Click on save. Let us create accumulated depreciation on vehicles. GL account is 1,02,115. Company code SSKH. Click on with template. GL account is 1,02,200. Company code SSKH. Click on enter. Short text and long text is equal to accumulated depreciation on vehicles account. Click on save. So till now we have created 10 GL accounts, right? That's how we have to decide how many number of GL accounts you have to create, right? Then sale of asset. So why we have to create the sale of asset? Here, during the lifetime of the company, right? The company will be going on purchasing different fixed assets, and also they will be going on selling different fixed assets. When their life is over, they may be selling the fixed assets. So when we sell the fixed asset, what we do? We credit respect to fixed asset account, right? But here also, right? In SAP also, when we sell any fixed asset, the respect to fixed asset account is to be credited. But we don't know which assets we are going to purchase, which assets we are going to sell. And also, we have to assign the GL accounts for automatic postings. We have to do the configuration for automatic postings now itself. And also, we don't know which asset we are going to purchase, which asset we are going to sell. That's why what we do is you create one temporary account, sale of asset, that is assigned for automatic postings. So whenever we post the sale of asset, right, the system automatically credits the sale of asset account. Then from the sale of asset account, the system transfers the sale of asset amount to the respective asset account. Thereby, the balance in the sale of asset account becomes zero. That means here, the sale of asset account is used as a bridge to fill the accounting gap. This type of GL accounts are called clearing accounts. Do one thing, write down here. Some space is there, no? Please write down. Put heading clearing accounts. Put heading clearing accounts. These are the temporary accounts. These are the temporary accounts created for accounting convenience. These are the temporary accounts created for accounting convenience. Example, sale of asset account. Example, sale of asset account. Then GRIR clearing account. GRIR clearing account. Within brackets, goods received and invoice received. Goods received and invoice received. Clearing accounts. Goods received and invoice received. Clearing accounts. And bank clearing accounts. And bank clearing accounts. In the case of sale of asset, account the balance is always a 0. The balance is always 0. Sorry. So why the balance in the sale of asset account is always 0? I will show you at the time of posting the sale of asset. Okay. Now let us create the sale of asset. The sale of asset account I am taking as part of other incomes. And the defined number range is 3,100,000 to 3,199,000. So I am taking 3,100,000. GL account is 3,100,000. Company code SSKH. So we cannot use any template account. We create it in the normal way only. Yes, direct income for the company only. Company code SSKH. Go to menu GL account, create. Account group is equal to other incomes. Account group is other incomes. Select P&L statement account. Short text is equal to sale of asset account. GL account long text is also sale of asset account. Go to control data tab. Account currency INR. Select only balances in local currency. Select to line item display. Sort key 018. Asset number means suppose you sold 5 assets in the year. So what is the sale value of every fixed asset? Means if you want to know that information, the line items are to be maintained according to asset number. Then go to create bank interest tab. Field status group G052. G052. Within brackets, accounts for fixed asset retirement. Accounts for fixed asset retirement. Click on save. So again, still you have to create some other number of GL accounts. These we will see in the next class. Next class we have on Monday morning, Indian time. Any questions? And just before the class, I sent to the previous class recording. I'm sorry, I was a little bit delayed in sending the recording today. Any questions from anybody? Okay, then see you on Monday morning, Indian time.